Hello students, good morning. I am Dr. Sanjay Sad, Assistant Professor, Department of Anatomy, GMC Betia. Today I am going to teach you muscles of mastication. See the first picture. See the first picture in which there is opening of mouth in order to eat an apple. In this process, mandible moves downwards. And look at the second picture in which there is closing of mouth in order to bite the apple. For this process, mandible moves up. After this, there is side to side movement of the mandible to grind the piece of apple present in the mouth. These are few steps of eating process or chewing process in which muscles of mastication play important roles. Now comes to term mastication. What is mastication? Mastication is the mechanical grinding of food into smaller pieces by the teeth. We can say mastication means chewing of the food. During chewing process, mandible moves up and down as well as side to side. These movements are brought by a group of muscles known as muscles of mastication, and those muscles are masseter muscle, temporalis muscle, lateral pterygoid muscle, medial pterygoid muscle. All these four muscles can be called as chief muscles of mastication. There are some other muscles also produce movement in the mandible. These can be called as accessory muscles of mastication. These muscles are digastric muscle, stylohyoid muscle, mylohyoid muscle and geniohyoid muscle. Now comes to details of muscles of mastication. First is definition. It is muscles of mastication are group of muscles that help in movement of mandible during chewing and speech process. They produce movement at temporomandibular joint. What is temporomandibular joint? It is a synovial joint formed by head of the condyle of mandible and mandibular fossa of temporal bone, and the movements at this joint by the muscles of mastication are depression, that is opening of mouth in which mandible moves downwards. Second is elevation of the mandible, that is closing of mouth in which mandible moves upwards. Third one is protrusion or protraction of chin in which there is forward movement of lower jaw or mandible. Fourth one is retrusion, that is retraction of chin. It is backward movement of lower jaw or mandible. Fifth one is side to side movements, that is grinding movement. These muscles of mastications developed from mesoderm of first branchial arch in embryonic life. So it is supplied by nerve of the first branchial arch, that is mandibular nerve. Means the muscles of mastications are supplied by branches from the mandibular nerve. The blood supply to these muscles comes from branches of maxillary artery. Now see the few atlas and make your vision clear to identify these muscles in practical exam. See the first atlas. This atlas shows the masseter muscles. This one is the masseter muscles, which is present on the lateral surface of ramus of mandible and below the zygomatic arch. And see the second atlas in which you are looking the temporalis muscle which occupies the temporal fossa. Now see the first atlas which shows the lateral pterygoid muscle. This one is the lateral pterygoid muscle. Now comes to second atlas in which you are looking the medial pterygoid muscle. This one is the medial pterygoid muscle. And now comes to the third atlas in which you are looking all four chief muscles of mastication from above downward. This one is the temporalis muscle, this one is the temporalis muscle, and this one is the lateral pterygoid muscle, this one is the medial pterygoid muscle, this one is the masseter muscle. Once again you can see this one is the lateral pterygoid muscle, this one is the medial pterygoid muscle, and this is all four muscles. Now you are looking some accessory muscles of mastications. Look at the four arrows. Each arrow indicates the muscle. Look at this arrow. This indicates the digastric posterior belly muscle. See at this arrow. This indicates the stylohyoid muscle. This one is the stylohyoid muscles. Also look another arrows which shows the digastric muscle anterior belly. This one is the digastric muscle anterior belly. Look at this indicates the mylohyoid muscle. This one is the mylohyoid muscle. Now comes to details of individual muscle. First one is masseter muscle. Masseter muscles derived from Greek word masseter, which means a chewer. This masseter muscle is most powerful closure of mouth. It is quadrilateral in shape. It covers lateral surface of ramus of mandible. Its origin from lower border of the zygomatic arch. In the above atlas you can see red shadow which indicates the origin of this muscle. This one is the red shadow, indicates the origin of this muscle. And insertion, it is inserted on the lateral surface of ramus of mandible. Nerve supply comes from masseteric nerve, which is branch of mandibular nerve. Its action are, it elevates the mandible to close the mouth for bite. Second action is superficial fibers cause protrusion of the mandible. This masseter muscle has three layers of fibers. First is superficial layer or part, second is middle layer, third one is deep layer or parts. Now comes to origin of each part. The superficial layer arises from the anterior 2/3 of the lower border of zygomatic arch. The middle layer arises from the posterior 1/3 of lower border of zygomatic arch, and the deep layer or deep part arises from the deep surface or inner surface of zygomatic arch. Now comes to insertion. The superficial part is inserted on the lower part of the lateral surface of ramus of the mandible, while the middle part is inserted on the middle part or central part of the lateral surface of ramus, and the deep part is inserted on the upper part of lateral surface of ramus of mandible. You can see in the atlas, this one is the deeper part present in upper part of the surface, and this one is the superficial part present in the lower part of the surface, and the middle part is hidden by this. Now comes to temporalis muscle. It is fan shaped muscle, fills the temporal fossa, occupies the temporal fossa above the zygomatic arch. Origin of this muscle, it arises from the floor of temporal fossa below the inferior temporal line except zygomatic bone, and its second site is from the temporal fascia. Means the temporalis muscles arises from the floor of temporal fossa as well as from the temporal fascia. Insertion, it is inserted at the margins and deep surface of the coronoid process, and also on the anterior border of ramus of mandible. Nerve supply comes from the two deep temporal branches of anterior division of mandibular nerve. Actions are, it elevates the mandible, it helps in side to side grinding movement, and the posterior fibers help in retraction of mandible. In the atlas you can see the muscle. This one is the muscle and this one is the insertion site. Here you can read the insertion site of this muscle at the medial surface, apex and anterior and posterior border of conoid process, and also on the anterior border of ramus of mandible up to last molar tooth. Now comes to lateral pterygoid muscle. It is short conical shaped muscle. It is also known as key muscle of infratemporal region because it divides the maxillary artery into three parts. It arises by two heads, upper head and lower head. Its lower head is larger one. Now comes to origin, insertion, nerve supply and action. The upper head of this muscle arises from the infratemporal surface and crest of the greater wing of sphenoid bone. You can see in the atlas this arrow indicates its origin of the upper head, and the lower head arises from the lateral surface of lateral pterygoid plate and comes to the insertion. The upper head inserted on the fovea of mandible, fovea present on the anterior surface of neck of mandible. Here the green shadow is fovea present on the anterior surface of neck of mandible. The lower head inserted at the anterior margin of articular disc and temporomandibular joint. Here you can see the lateral plate pterygoid. It is the lateral surface of the lateral pterygoid plate. It gives origin to lateral lower head of lateral pterygoid muscle. Nerve supply by the branch from anterior division of mandible, and actions are: it depresses the mandible to open the mouth, it protrudes the mandible, helps in side to side movement of the mandible. Once again you can see the fovea, pterygoid fovea present on the mandible, and you can see this one is the infratemporal surface of sphenoid, greater wing of sphenoid bone. Here is the spelling mistake, and here you can see the lateral surface of lateral pterygoid plate, which gives origin to the lower head of lateral pterygoid muscle. Now comes to medial pterygoid muscle. It is quadrilateral shaped muscles. It has two heads, superficial and deep head. Now comes to origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. The superficial head, origin. It arises from the tuberosity of maxilla and pyramidal process of palatine bone, and the deep head arises from the medial surface of lateral pterygoid plate and adjoining process of palatine bone. This deep head is larger part. Now comes to insertion. The superficial head and deep head both are inserted on the rough area on the medial surface of angle and adjoining ramus of the mandible, behind the mandibular foramen and below the mylohyoid groove. In this atlas you can see these are the origin site of the medial pterygoid muscles, and this is the medial surface of the ramus of mandible in which it has insertion. Now comes to nerve supply. It is supplied by branch from main trunk of mandibular nerve, and its actions are: it elevates the mandible, it protrudes the mandible and helps in side to side movement. Now comes to one important point, that is the simultaneous contraction of both lateral and medial pterygoid muscles alternately on right and left side produce side to side movement of the mandible for grinding of the food. Now comes to orientation of muscle attachment on bone. Look at the first picture. Here is the pterygoid fovea, in which there is insertion of lateral pterygoid muscle. This one is the conoid process, and this is the anterior border of ramus. At this side there is insertion of temporalis muscle. This one is the rough area present on the medial surface of angle of mandible, which lies below and behind the mandibular foramen and mylohyoid group. Here is the insertion of medial pterygoid muscle. So this orientation keep in mind for the examination purpose, for the practical purpose. In the second atlas, you have to see this one is the temporalis muscle present in the temporal fossa, this one is the lateral pterygoid muscles, and this is the medial pterygoid muscle, and this one is the masseter muscle. Now comes to the movements of the mandible produced by different muscles of mastication. Now see this picture in which you are looking the direction of force or direction of pull by the different muscles. First one, you can see this is the lateral pterygoid muscle which pulls in this direction, in the forward direction. Here this is the direction of pull produced by temporalis muscle, this is upward direction. Here this is the direction of the masseter muscles, and this is the direction of the digastric muscle. In the second atlas, here you can also see the different direction of the temporalis muscle, lateral pterygoid muscle, medial pterygoid muscle, and masseter muscles, and use these key points. The arrow directed upward shows the elevation, arrow directed right side shows the retraction or backward movement, arrows directed left side shows the protrusion movement, arrows directed downward shows the depression movement, that is opening of mouth. And now comes to this atlas. This is the protrusion movement which is produced by lateral pterygoid muscles and medial pterygoid muscles. This arrow indicates the retraction or retrusion movement which is produced by posterior fibers of temporalis muscle, deep part of masseter muscle, geniohyoid muscle, and digastric muscle. This arrow indicates the upward movement of the mandible, that is elevation, which is produced by temporalis muscle, masseter muscle, and medial pterygoid muscle. This arrow indicates the downwards movement, that is depression, which is produced by lateral pterygoid muscle, digastric muscle, geniohyoid muscle, and mylohyoid muscle. So you have to remember different movements of the mandible like protrusion, retraction, elevation, depression, and all these movements produced by different group of muscles. So you have to remember this name of the muscles. Now comes to one important point, that is the three muscles elevates the mandible known as anti-gravity muscles of the jaw. These muscles are masseter muscle, temporalis muscle, and lateral pterygoid muscles. These muscles can be asked in viva which muscles of mastications are considered as anti-gravity muscle. Now comes to applied aspect of the muscles of mastication. First one is the congenital hypertrophy of masseter muscles. In the picture you can see the hypertrophic part of the masseter muscle. Here is the hypertrophic part, and this picture shows the normal. And second one is submasseteric abscess infection. Here you can see the submasseteric abscess or space infection. The third applied aspect is trismus. It is also called as lockjaw. It is defined as painful opening of mouth due to a spasm of muscles of mastication, and it may be seen in different conditions. That is, it can be seen in tetanus, it can be seen after trauma or temporomandibular joint arthritis, it can be seen in dental problem like pericoronitis. What is pericoronitis? Pericoronitis is infection and inflammation of soft tissue around the tooth. It can be seen in tonsillitis or peritonsillar abscess. It can be seen in mumps or parotid abscess. Look at different pictures showing painful condition of the lockjaw or trismus condition. Now comes to term lockjaw. It is a very famous event occurring in patient of tetanus. In this, there is pain and stiffness of jaw and neck muscles associated with dysphagia and trismus. It occurs due to severe spasm of muscles of jaw or muscles of mastication. Look at the picture and understand the condition, how it is painful, how it is dangerous. This is a reference page for the lockjaw. Lockjaw or trismus is a spasm of mastication muscles in which the jaw that limits the opening of mouth. Any type of difficulty in the opening of mouth or jaw referred as lockjaw. It is a painful condition and even swallowing becomes problem, that is dysphagia. You can read the lines, underlines. Next applied aspect are sudden contraction of temporalis muscle results in fracture of coronoid process. Next one is paralysis of muscle leads to loss of action of that muscle of mandible. Thank you to everyone. Thank you.